Turning expired listings into new opportunities for you? Welcome to day 8 of our 25 Days of GEOsential podcast series. In our last episode, we talked about celebrating milestones with happy home anniversary postcards, but today we're going to shift that focus to a postcard strategy that can breathe life into forgotten opportunities. Postcards for expired listings. Remember, GEOsential is more than just a place to print your postcard. We're going to combine postcard with strategy. Might that be going after the expired listings? Discussing that today. FISBOs, new people in your farm, marketing around your listing, or staying in touch with your sphere. The goal for postcards is for you to have a marketing system that is simple. We want more business and work less. Now, I know some agents avoid expired listings because they feel like they're too much work. But let me tell you, these are golden opportunities waiting to be just tapped into. Think about it. The homeowners were already motivated to sell at one point. They have an interest in moving, and while plans sometimes change, they oftentimes just get postponed, rarely canceled. What most expired listings need is the right agent to help them succeed. So, how do you use postcards to stand out? It's all about addressing their pain points. A simple message like, hey, your home didn't sell, but it still can. Let me show you how I get results, speaks directly to their frustration while offering a solution. But that's not where the magic happens. It is the showing up more than once tactic. Most sellers are frustrated right after their home comes off the market. They need a break. But right when they come off the market, the phone calls start, agents are calling, pretending to have a buyer, and the seller is just thinking, where have you been all those months the house was listed? Am I right? Now, the seller is remembering the lack of professionalism they encountered, as agents were running late, as they were constantly displaced from their own house, right? The inconveniences that the seller had to deal with. Sometimes agents leave doors unlocked, lights on. Some expired sellers just need a cool off period. And the phone calls eventually slow down because most agents call once, maybe twice, before they give up. Not so with GEOsential. And not a single phone call needs to be made if you don't want to. But first up, let's talk about why expired listings are so effective. They demonstrate your expertise and your confidence to solve their problem. They help you build trust by showing empathy for their experience, and they position you as the agent who can do what others couldn't. So let's talk about the plan. Think about how long do you want to follow up with the expired listing before giving up? According to Vulcan 7, 60% of expireds wait before signing with a new agent. Fewer than 3 will relist with the same agent. 35% will have their home off the market for a month or more. In fact, according to most real estate data, most expired sellers tend to relist their home after around 90 days of taking their property off the market, as this time frame allows for a significant cooling off period and resets the days on market to 0, giving the listing a fresh start when re-entering the market. So personally, I will have a 10-week follow-up campaign in play. They reach out earlier than that, great. They're taking full advantage of the 90-day cooling off period, no problem either. I have a system with GEOsential that is set it and forget it. Remember, the secret to making this doable is in the system. If you want to see how simple this process can be, head over to geosential.com, log into your account, and start following our step-by-step tutorials, which you can also find on our YouTube channel or on Facebook. And if you're watching this video on one of those channels versus listening on our podcast right now while you're in the car, we'll have it linked in the show notes, by the way. So stay tuned, though, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, and we'll play it right after. Now, in our next episode, we'll discuss another niche strategy: postcards for sale by owner listings. These homeowners need you more than they realize, and I'll show you how to connect with them effectively. So thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you on our next episode for day number 9. Do you know what you're looking at here? That is my expired follow-up with postcards. That's right. So first up, these templates came from a creator, and you can get the exact same ones. And the reason I went with this is because creating 9 postcards seemed like a lot of work, and I wanted an easy button. So sure, you can use any creator that's out there. However, I really, really like these because these were created by an agent that turned into a Canva store, more or less. So if you go to bit.ly/get templates now, you'll get there. Just type in the word expired. This is going to give you all the options. Find the postcards. Feel free to purchase them. I think mine were like $20 and start leveraging them. Or you can go through the painstaking process of course, creating them from scratch. Your call. I didn't want to deal with it, so I just bought them and, customized them fairly quickly to myself. Now that I have all of this done, I will say, yes, it took a minute to customize them, but it did not take forever. And it also is here to now leverage my personal time for the rest of my real estate career, right? So I just went ahead, clicked the share button, downloaded these templates, and then I headed over to GEOsential for the print. Now, here's what you can do. Inside GEOsential, you can go ahead and first up, upload all these wonderful cards. And there's 9 of them. So as you can see here, I uploaded them all and labeled them expired 1, expired 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And this took, yes, a little bit. But again, nothing a good Netflix show and a little bit of uploading and positioning can't fix. So now that this is all done, I'm going to head into our saved automations. And I built an automation. Let's see if we find it. I thought I built an automation, and if not, you and I are going to get to build an automation that is for all of these expired listings. Well, looks like I didn't build the automation. Well, I want to say you are very, very lucky because we're now getting to build it together. Yeah. Oh, all right. Wonder if I did my sale by owner one because that's coming up. So what are we going to do here? First up, we're going to have to click on create a new automation. And then I am going to do a drip right here. Okay. So that drip means it sends cards immediately or over time based on what I schedule. And it completes when all the shipments have been sent. So drip. And then create a new automation. Add our first shipment. So here's what I'm going to do. Add an item. And I'm going to look for my expired postcard 1. Okay. I'm going to add it to the shipment. And all of these are linked to my home evaluation. So I'm going to put that there. Now this is card 1, sends immediately after contact is added. Now here's the fun part. I'm going to add a second card. So I have 9. So we're going to be repeating this process a couple times. There we go. Let's make our QR code smart. And by the way, if you are a pro user and you do not have the tagging feature yet, that means you didn't complete your setup yet. Make sure you have your drip set up. So this way we can start them on the seller follow-up immediately. And it's super easy to then just set the entire system up, right? Postcards go out on autopilot, emails get handled on autopilot, and all you got to do is wait for a scan so you can get into action. Super fun. And we'll teach you all about that inside the Mailer Clinic. If you're on the light plan, you got to figure out the follow-up, okay? If somebody scans your QR code, you get a text. What do you do? Okay? Don't let opportunities slip through. So here's a part where we want to make sure we change this one here. So the second card, okay, goes out, not immediately. But again, if it's an expired listing, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to do every 2 weeks? Right? Is that something, again, the rhythm here, test it out. Sometimes I think it's good to stay in front of them a little bit more frequently in the beginning. So right here, sends immediately, and then sends 14 days after previous shipment. This is this one, okay? So this is expired card first, one, and you can certainly label those expired postcard one. And then this way you will also know which card are they sending or scanning. So expired postcard two. All right, so you see here how this is all now changing. And we're gonna continue on. Expired postcard three. And that one sends 2 weeks after, right? All right. So you see how, well, it'd probably be a good idea to add a postcard. You see how we continue on building on it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish up the rest. Again, repeating the same steps, right? There's postcard four. And expired four. And then I got another, I think I gotta fix it on the other one actually. You know what, I think I'm just gonna add all my postcards in first. $14 days. Yeah, gotta fix this one. 2 weeks. I want to make sure, so I want to send mine every 14 days. Okay. Fix this one. 2 weeks. All right. And what is happening here is when I enroll a contact, they're going to go here and then they're going to get a card printed, shipped out. And in 2 weeks, that contact will move to the next one. The card gets printed, shipped, and then we're going to wait, and so on and so forth. So you see how this can be completely leveraged. By the time they are ready to interview a new agent, they're like, man, you stayed the most consistent. You guys know the statistics, right? Most people give up after the second reach out. Well, not so much if you have a system in place. So by all means, go ahead and build out an expired system that can run on autopilot on the back end of your business so you can do other things, because that's at the end of the day what this is all about. It's all about leverage. It's all about working smarter with the time that we do have available. And if you are a light user and you're thinking, man, I would love to automate my follow-up as well, I don't know, but might be a good time right now to upgrade to that, because we've talked about price increases and the value of it is absolutely mind-blowing. If I decided to have a VA do something like this manually, I would pay them way more money than what I pay this system. Forgot my card here. So again, simply going through the motions here, making sure, right, 14 days, all of this is good. 14 days, all right, last one. There you go. 2 weeks. Home value CMA. And let's make sure we add the card. Now, if you want to, change it up and send something else, I do have a couple other cards I want to add in a minute for my personal follow-up. And it's super simple to do. Okay, so if you have a card where you're like, hey, I really want to make sure that we're kicking off this card with something more fun, like this one here is my Netflix card. And again, got it from the same source I showed you earlier. Would hands down recommend you check it out. Wasn't going to be worth my time to figure out how to create all of it. So I purchased the template, resized it to the 8.5 by 5.5, and brought it in here. So this one, make sure we'll send this one immediately. And then we're gonna send this one, let's say 1 week after.
1 week. There you go. Okay, so now it's sent immediately, sent 7 days, 14 days, 14 days, 14 days, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so now I do have 10 postcards that are getting me through roughly 3 months. After 90 days, most expireds have probably either, relisted or they should really interview. So I am all set here. Now I just got to make sure I have an expired group. So if you do not have an expired group created, I highly suggest you create one. This way, when you add a contact into that group, it will automatically go through this automation once I hit activate. If you wanted to just enroll a contact manually or send it yourself, you certainly can. But that is how the expired workflow